I know liberals have this vision of Trump forced out of the White House and arrested, but that's not going to happen no matter how many cartoons of it you post on your Facebook feed. Of all the fairy tales we've told ourselves here in America, the one we most need to get rid of now is, in America, no one is above the law.
Does the president believe that he is above the law?
Nobody, including the President of the United States, is above the law.
No one, not even the President of the United States, is above the law.
Certainly no one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
And when you don't have to follow the orders of law enforcement, as Trump clearly doesn't, you are above the law.
The concept of sanctuary cities is wrong. It is fundamentally flawed, and because of this mutinous refusal to follow federal law, you and your family are in real danger.
Keep going right
I just want to ask you, this is an important one because it's about, I'll just keep asking if I can.
Peter, no, you can't actually. Go ahead.
We are a nation of laws, and nobody, of course, is above the law.
Because no one is above the law, not Mr. Al Capone, not Mr. Donald Trump.
There is a fundamental consensus in the American people that no person is above the law.
There are two sides to every argument, but no one is above the law.
Some people in this country, because of their position of power, are in fact above the law.
What I will say is that no one ought to be above the law.
I mean, dear God, this guy cannot in any way be allowed to be above the law.
Nobody is above the law, not the President of the United States.
If no one is above the law, that would include people living in this country illegally, right?
That in our sanctuary cities, our people are not disobeying the law. These are law-abiding citizens. It enables them to be there without being reported to ICE. The point is that you do not turn law enforcement officers into immigration officers. That is really what the point is in a sanctuary city.
The sanctuary is for the illegal and not the American citizen. Families, it doesn't matter where there is an order of deportation by a judge. It doesn't even matter if there is a criminal charge or a criminal conviction. We're getting them out of here. There are more than 200 sanctuary cities in the United States where government employees and law enforcement cannot or do not report or share information or hand over illegals to immigration, even if federal authorities say they want them, even if the illegal is a career criminal.
New York is the latest state to offer illegal immigrants driver's licenses. Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo signing the green light bill into law on Monday.
Senator, would you include the 11 million undocumented immigrants in that?
Absolutely. When I talk about health care being a human right, last time I heard that undocumented people are human beings as well.
Do you agree that the president has the, quote, absolute legal right to do this if he wants to?
No, I don't. If someone requests asylum, he should be considered. There should be a place for that person to stay while that asylum request is being adjudicated.
Those individuals that have already had their day in court, they've already had their opportunity to present their case. They were not found to have a true refugee status or a reason to be in the United States. They were ordered deported by a judge, and frankly, they haven't left.
She says, quote, next week, ICE will begin the process of removing the millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into the United States. They will be removed as fast as they come in. Only ones who won't do anything are the Democrats in Congress.
They must vote to get rid of the loopholes and fix asylum. If so, border crisis will end quickly.
So they're defying the law. They defied the law in the first place by crossing the border illegally. Now they're defying the law by ignoring a judge's order that says that they don't have a right to be here to be deported. So these individuals have already had that chance to exhaust all of their appeals rights, and they still continue to push back and ignore the laws of the United States. This is an operation that has to happen, and to hear mayors like that out of Chicago saying that they're going to protect their refugees and their immigrants, these are no longer refugees. They're now illegally in the United States, and they should be deported.
Either one of these fact patterns is true. One is
Trump is not lying, and he's going to use the ISIS Gestapo to do millions of raids across the country, and that would be insane.
Is this a real thing? Do we know whether or not this is a real thing or just something that the president threw out?
How could a large-scale deportation like this, if it happens, affect that?
Is that it will obviously provoke massive outcry among Democrats, obviously, but even independents and some Republicans.
More on the breaking news out of the White House. President Trump has just tweeted that at the request of Democrats, he has delayed those ICE raids.
I don't know exactly why the president is changing his mind. He says at the request of Democrats. Early today, the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, issued a statement that condemned the raids, and that wasn't a formal request to stop them, but she called them brutal, and she said that this was something that shouldn't happen. She's, of course, from San Francisco, which is a sanctuary city, and many Democrats have a much different view of how this immigration problem should be handled.
So a couple of things happened, Judge. One, the media got a hold of some operational specifics, and they reported it's just egregious, and it puts the lives of the officers and agents at risk.
Incredibly expensive. It would uproot our entire society. And I know some of the right wingers like, yes, finally vengeance is ours. It would also.
It would destroy our economy. Let's just keep
yes,
it. Let's keep
absolutely.
it real. So go ahead. First of all, look, the reason why I started this story by mentioning his re-election campaign is because this is all about his re-election campaign.
Is there any way you can put an ankle bracelet on these people? Why are we just letting them into the interior?
So right now, we're forced to. There are two major elements that Congress could fix, and they failed to do. The Florida Settlement Agreement, which says families, if you're a kid and you're a family, you have to be released. We have no alternative. We need to fix that. Congress needs to help us fix that. And so right now, that's what happens. And what we do is we don't just release them. We do put ankle bracelets on them. We give them information that they have to appear. But Judge, you know, they cut the bracelets off. They don't appear, and they go into the winds into the interior United States, never to be heard from again. That's why ICE, we have to go after them. Look, we've tried everything to get them to come willingly to ICE, to work with us. They have refused. We have no alternative. I don't want to go to their house. I don't want to go to their work site, but they've left us no alternative. They have refused again and again to comply with our laws of this country. They're forcing me to send men and women of ICE out to go and get them. I wish they wouldn't, but we have no choice.
Hey, that's a reality. They broke the law to get here, and they continue to break the law while they're here.
I am your voice.
I told you that Donald Trump is having a really bad day. I told you.